Now we're moving our attention to more serious matters, tensions continuing to ratchet up in the Ukraine crisis. Now the US has rejected Russia's demand to bar the Ukraine from joining NATO.
In the past few weeks, Russia has gathered vast numbers of troops on the border, which you probably know, which Western countries have taken as signs of a possible invasion.
The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken says he's offering Russia a serious diplomatic path forward. Well, let's go to Eastern Europe expert Sergej Sulmenny. A very good morning to you, Sergej. Welcome to the programme. We had 8 hours of diplomatic discussions yesterday between Western allies and NATO, the result of which Russia is unlikely to be very happy with. What do you make of it all?
Yeah, good morning. Yes, Russia is not happy because Russia has not got what Russia wanted to get. But that was actually pretty understandable, and that is what everyone expected, because Russian ultimatum and Russian ideas what should be delivered to Russia, it was just impossible. Like, if you look at the list of the ideas which Russia presented to the NATO, they included the withdrawal of the US troops from every country which joined NATO in 1997, which practically meant the restoration of Cold War system with the Warsaw Pact countries and NATO countries. It was just impossible.
I think the West's first mistake really was even giving time to the request. How on earth can this gangster dictator suggest that a sovereign nation shouldn't be allowed to join an organisation that it wants to do? The fact that they're even considering it makes him have some sort of power, doesn't it?
Well, a friend of mine from Ukraine told me, I don't understand why it takes so long to deliver a response, because the word no is very short and one can deliver it very fast. I think they just wanted to analyze the things and to also to improve their position in Ukraine. We know that within the last weeks, many, not a couple, but really many cargo planes with arms have flown to Ukraine, and many of them were British planes, which has made a very good reaction in Ukraine, actually, because like everyone is looking now at the United Kingdom in Kiev, and as you have discussed, the negative aspects of Brexit. But in Ukraine, everyone's happy on Brexit. In Ukraine, everyone's saying, like, look, it's so great that the Brits are not in the EU anymore, and they're not dependent on what Germans or French are saying. And I don't share this point of view, but I can understand why Ukrainians are so happy, because the United Kingdom delivers weapons. And now, when the situation is dramatically changed, because Ukraine can protect itself with anti-tank weapons, the US government can say no, because Putin understands that the stakes for attacking are changed, and that his casualties will be much higher than they would have been a week ago.
So what happens next then? I mean, I hate the phrase "the ball is in his court" because it makes it sound like a simple game of tennis, but the reality is it's incredibly serious. Is there anywhere for Putin to go now besides invading? Because he's got to follow through on what he's been threatening, hasn't he?
Well, what I always admired in this evil strategy of Putin, that is really fascinating to see how he makes his dictatorial plans of expansion of power and terror in the world. Even if he loses, he gains something. And look what we have now. He has destabilized Ukraine to certain points. Of course, Ukraine has got more solidarity from the West, but anyway, he has destabilized the European Union, because Germany is absolutely alienated with its irresponsible and immoral politics regarding Ukraine and regarding non-delivering weapons. He has practically occupied Belarus, because Russian troops are in Belarus now in the scale we have never seen since World War II. And he can threaten from Belarus in any direction Poland, Lithuania and Baltic countries, or Ukraine. So actually, even without taking a shot and without attacking Ukraine, he has destabilized the European Union. He has demonstrated that Germany is not a reliable partner for Eastern Europe. And he has massively increased his position if he would prefer to increase military pressure on the NATO members like Poland or Baltic countries.
The supreme destabiliser, you could call him. Really good to get your thoughts this morning. Thank you so much. That was Sergej Sulmenny, Eastern European expert.